The psychology of physical fitness. Physical wellness is one of the extraordinary fundamentals of match play. Astuteness must be gained if the physical, mental, and sensory systems are in order. Reliable and orderly preparing is fundamental to a competition player. Customary long periods of rest and normal, generous food at ordinary hours are important to keep the body at its most noteworthy effectiveness. Food is especially significant. Eat well, however don't overeat, especially preceding playing. I put stock in a huge healthy breakfast upon the arrival of a major match. This ought to be taken by 9:30. A moderate lunch at around 1 o'clock if playing at 3. Try not to eat rich food at lunch meeting as it will be general moderate you up on the court. Try not to risk acid reflux, which is the most noticeably terrible foe to dear visual perception. Rich, substantial food preceding resigning is terrible, as it is well suited to make you loggy on the court the following day. It is a certain injury to contact mixed beverage in any structure during competition play. Liquor is a toxin that influences the eye, the psyche, and the breeze, 3 basics in tennis. Tobacco with some restraint does little mischief, despite the fact that it, as well, hits eye and wind. A man who is confronting a long period of competition play should cease from either liquor or tobacco in any structure. An overabundance of any sort are terrible for state of being, and ought not be risked. Staleness is the incredible adversary of players who play long seasons. It is an instance of an excess of tennis. Staleness is only from time to time physical exhaustion. A player can generally recuperate his quality by rest. Staleness is a psychological weakness due regularly to stress or excessively close thoughtfulness regarding tennis, and insufficient assortment of thought. Its indications are an aversion for the tennis matchup and its environmental factors, and an absence of enthusiasm for the match when you are on the court. I advocate a break in preparing at such a period. Go to the theater or a show, and get your psyche totally off tennis. Do your agonizing over tennis while you are playing it, and overlook the obnoxiousness of awful play once you are off the court. Continuously have some outside intrigue you can go to for unwinding during a competition, yet never permit it to meddle with your tennis when you ought to be determined to your game. A decent parity is difficult to accomplish, at the same time, when achieved is an incredible guide to a competition player. The laws of preparing ought to be firmly followed when a match. Try not to get chilled before a match, as it makes you solid and moderate. To the exclusion of everything else, don't remain around without a wrap after a match when you are hot, or you will come down with bug. Numerous a player has procured a bit of ailment from sitting around at the end of his match as opposed to getting his shower while still warm. That's slight solidness. The following day may mean annihilation. A genuine chill may mean extreme disease. Try not to take risks. Change your wet garments to dry ones between matches on the off chance that you are to play twice in a day. It will cause you to feel better, and furthermore dodge the danger of cold. Competition players must forfeit a few delights for progress. Preparing will dominate numerous a game for a man on the off chance that he sticks to it. Fitful preparing is futile, and ought never to endeavor. The condition a player is in is able to choose his psychological perspective, and help him in accustoming himself to the outside states of play. All match players should know a little about the marvel of group brain research, since, as on account of the Church-Murray coordinate I related some time back, the group may have a significant influence in the outcome. It only here and there pays to get a group down on you. It generally pays to win its compassion. I don't mean put on a big show, for that will have the contrary impact than the one wanted. The display is consistently for the more fragile player. It is an instance of aiding the underhound. If you are a steady champ, you should familiarize yourself to have the exhibition show prejudice for your adversary. It is no close to home abhorrence of you. It is simply a characteristic response for the failure. Now and again a terrible choice to one play will win the group's compassion toward him. Displays are prominently just in their wants, despite the fact that now and again their feelings flee with them. Aside from the impact on the exhibition, I wish to state here that when you are the supported one of every a choice that you know isn't right, endeavor to even out it if conceivable by ostentatiously losing the following point. Try not to hit the ball over the fence or into the base of the net with a chipper demeanor of, here you are. Just hit it somewhat out or in the net and go on about your business in the normal way. Your adversary consistently knows when you broaden him this equity, and he acknowledges it despite the fact that he doesn't anticipate it. Never do it for impact. It is incredibly terrible taste. Possibly do it when your feeling of equity reveals to you should. The group objects, and legitimately in this way, to a showcase of genuine temper on the court. A player who loses his head must anticipate a poor gathering from the exhibition. Address choices by a player just put him in a terrible light with the group and can't change the point. You may realize the call wasn't right, yet smile at it, and the group will go along with you. These things are the embodiment of good sportsmanship, and great sportsmanship will win any display. The ugliest player on the planet will win the regard and profound respect of a group by a presentation of genuine sportsmanship at the hour of the test. Any player who truly appreciates a counterpart for the good of the game will consistently being a fine athlete, for there is no diversion to a match that doesn't give your rival all his privileges. A player who plays for the delight of the match dominates the group the first occasion when he steps on the court. All the world loves a self-assured person.